Hey y'all. So we are going to be taking a look at Litha and Talamis season, July and August ahead. So with Litha, right, we're coming out of summer solstice on June 21st, and we are sitting within the watery well of our own emotional cores during this time. This is very much about self-reflection, right? If you think about it, in the northern hemisphere, we are in a time of Litha, which is very watery and really sitting with our emotions. But then at our counterpoint in the wheel of the year, those in the southern hemisphere are at the time of Yule, aka Christmas time, which is also a time of reflection, just through a different lens. So and no matter where you are in the world, whether it's northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, Litha is very much about really sitting with how you feel from a place of reflection and non-resistance, being willing to sit with whatever arises from a place of stillness. It's really about the emotions, the emotional core, without necessarily taking any steps or trying to figure out how to fix anything or alter anything or how to shift one emotion from, one thing to another. It's really just about acceptance of the emotions as they currently are and really sitting with those. Sometimes doing so can lead to questions, right? Not necessarily questions that lead to answers either. Sometimes it's just sitting with our emotions and having questions, which then spawn other questions, which then spawn other questions. But it's a really beautiful opportunity to really live in those questions and consider the aspects within us that are emotionally charged from a place of curiosity and non-judgment. So that's July. Then we move into Lammas in August, which is a time of getting ready to reap that harvest, honey, for Mabon that comes in September, right? It's August. We're at the height of the summer season here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's very warm. We're kind of, winding down the end of summer. In a way, it becomes more intense heat-wise, but we're kind of, taking a look out to autumn going, okay, well, the harvest is coming, so let's just slow our roll a bit and just really be grateful for what we have, where we've been, our experiences up until this point, until we go into the autumnal equinox in the following month, which begins our wind down towards the end of the year, right? And remember, this is around the time where we're getting ready and gearing up for the days to begin to shorten in length in a really noticeable way. So it's interesting around that time of equinox and going into the autumn time that in August, it's sort of like one last abundant hurrah, where we're going, yes, like this is wonderful. This is where there's plenty of fruit, there's plenty of veg, there's plenty of food. Everything is in abundance. We even have an abundance of time. This is usually when we have time from work off. School is usually not in session. It's a time where we can really sit down and really appreciate taking things a little bit more slowly, and also, sharing that joy, sharing the sun, being at, its height in the sky and giving us warmth from a place of excitement and joy. Because it's an exciting point as well, because when we are just before the autumnal equinox, we are coming up to the harvest and the holiday season and going back to school and all of those things. It's an exciting time because that's also, a time of year where we have a lot of holidays, and there's an aspect of like, okay, it's like a fresh new start within a fresh new start, right? We're ending the summer, we're going back to work or back to school, and then we're going in through a time which leads to Samhain, and if you're in America, Thanksgiving, and Yule/Christmas, and New Year's resolutions, and the New Year, and all of these things. So it's kind of like let's just relax and really enjoy being where we are as much as we possibly can before the rest of the year unfolds and we're back into the groove of a lot going on. So July and August, this is really such a beautiful, very special time period where we are not just asked, but encouraged to really move a little bit more slowly and be exactly where we are from a place of pleasure, right? In the Southern Hemisphere, with that Yule energy, we're asked to move more slowly, but from a place of introspection, right? But this is really about pleasure, really enjoying being outside, feeling the heat, enjoying the downtime, and enjoying the time before things really rev up and it feels like a bit of a speeding train into the end of the year, and then we're into a whole new year. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm really going to enjoy this time because I know what's coming. There's a lot to be excited for, a lot of holidays coming up, but the food is plentiful right now. The harvest is going to be coming in, and I really can take this time to just enjoy, sit with my emotions as they are from a place of curiosity and non-judgment, and just soak in the sun and the energy and the stillness. It's kind of those, lazy, languid days of summer energy around July and August. So it's such a treat. It's such a beautiful time period to be within. And with that being said, I'm wishing you all such a beautiful Litha and Lammas. I really love doing this series, relatively new series, where we're looking at 2 months ahead within the context of the wheel of the year, because if we can be aware of what nature is doing, of the cycles of nature within a wheel of the year context, then that empowers us to really work with that given energy and get more out of it. As a result, just like they did, pre-industrial revolution, when we align ourselves to nature's cycles, we have a more fully embodied and enriched and empowered experience. And I'm really excited to keep sharing that with you guys. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this Litha and Lammas. Hey Leos, let's go ahead and see what your animal energy is for this upcoming Litha Lammas July-August season. But before I do, let me tell you the tale of your meditation that I just did for you. It was short but sweet, and I'm going to talk about the Golden Girls very briefly, because what I saw in your meditation was a story that the character of Rose, played by the illustrious Betty White, tells about how she met her husband Charlie when they were like 7 or 8 years old, and how he sold her an insurance policy on her red wagon. It was like a nickel policy, and it was interesting because I'm seeing these two kids talk about insurance, and then I see the kid is Charlie, who's like 7 or 8 years old, kind of turn and look at me and wink and say, "Preparedness is caring." So that's really interesting meditation for you guys. Preparedness is caring. So fascinating. Let's go ahead and see what your animal energy is. A little bit of Golden Girls for you golden lions and lionesses. I just got shivvies. It could not be better. God, I love it when it's on the nose. The beaver? Talk about preparedness is caring, like being symbolized in an animal energy form. The beaver is all about preparedness, and more specifically, it relates to the 8 of Pentacles in the Tarot, which is about hard work and talent meeting up with divine timing. Another way to look at this is, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Right? Preparedness is caring. That's so funny. We have the beaver energy, beautiful water energy here for you. We are in a watery season. We will be going into your birthday season. So a very happy almost birthday as we go out of Cancer energy into Leo energy. It's really beautiful that you have water to denote this time period as well, because that is the overall element of the season. So with the beaver energy as well, in terms of animal medicine, the beaver tagline is, help me to build a strong foundation so all that is mine can flow to me. I feel like that is rather the entire point of what we're going to be talking about. It's so perfect. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. Beautiful, beautiful Leos. What is Oh my God. I cannot. Do you know who else got this? I never get this key. I've never gotten this key in readings before. But who else got this was Gemini. You might want to check out the Gemini reading if you feel so called, or if you have Gemini as a prominent placement in your chart, or you have a Gemini in your life that is significant. Okay. Will, wisdom, and my number 20. This is the most major of all of the major arcanas in this particular Akashic Tarot deck. So let's just recognize that. I'm here for it. You've got all the elements represented here. the I can never pronounce this, but this symbol here, the quitatra, like, can never pronounce it, but it is a symbol that speaks of, intense elemental alignment, magic, power, divinity. And like this says, will, wisdom, and mind. This says that you have completed the karmic cycles that you are meant to complete. And because you have done so, you are now open and available to receive new offers, new paths, new opportunities, new abundance. That's the thing. Like, in this school of life that we're in, we're here to develop as souls, as spiritual beings having a human experience. We are literally here to develop and grow, right? That's kind of the saying of, that's life. Like, that's part of the gig, right? But why this is so significant is because if this is a video game, says you're leveling up. You've completed this level. So this is very significant. This is about you have completed karmic contracts, karmic lessons, and now you're a free agent. Now you're able to attract new things. Oftentimes when we attract the same person over and over and over in different bodies, or we attract the same like boss archetype over and over, if we attract the same circumstances and lessons over and over, that is a karmic lesson that until you really learn it and understand it and can make different choices outside of that energy, it's going to keep coming back around, right? This is the ending of that. This is spirit saying, you're done with that now, whatever this is for you. Now on to the next. This is graduation. This is moving onward. So it's really interesting with that idea of preparedness is caring. Preparing for new things that you've not experienced before. That is the key. Okay, really, Leos? It's so good. One of keys, the architect. This is literally building the foundation for new futures. Like this is the artist that you are. This is the creative being, architect of your own divine blueprint that you are. Do you understand that you've literally closed out cycles and now you're being moved to a brand new building site where the universe is coming in and saying, okay, what do you want to build next, architect? You are literally being given a clean slate for new opportunities here and being asked, what do you want? And what's really fascinating about this, back to the beaver energy, is that the beaver archetype can only really relax and enjoy themselves if they've done the hard work of the day, right? It always reminds me of Virgo energy in that way. It's like if you work really hard, then you can enjoy the recreation. But if you didn't, if there's still things on the to-do list, if you didn't meet your deadline, your quota, your goal for the day, you're not going to completely be able to relax, right? So it's interesting here. There's an aspect of this where it's going, okay, well done. So now you can, enjoy those endings, but now you're being asked, like, prepare for what you want next. Prepare for bigger and better and new visions and new aspirations. Look to the future. Preparedness is caring. That's what it is. It's really something else, Leos. Also, it is not lost on me that we are in ancient Egypt, and that is a cat, which is the domestic form of your lion selves. So we can look at that as the lion being the, bigger, more fully, in this context, the bigger, more fully realized wild version of the domesticated feline, right? And then we're looking at new beginnings and starts. So this cat is going to evolve, in this particular metaphor, into a lion, right? It's beautiful. A lot of yellow going on here. I feel like, when we think about, yellow, that's the solar plexus chakra. That is the chakra through which we experience the world. So, and other people. So for example, let's say that you meet someone for the first time and you get a really good feeling about them. You just have a feeling that they're going to be someone who you know for a long time, or you feel like you can trust them, or you feel like that's your solar plexus chakra receiving their energetic signature and emitting that information to you from a sensory place, right? That's your gut. Solar plexus is your gut, right? On the other hand, it could be meeting someone and going, I don't know why. They come well recommended, but I just am not vibing. I don't feel like this person and I are going to see eye to eye. That's all yours. So it's interesting. I feel like that is going to come into play for you in a really defined way. And I want to say to you, it feels like you're being called to develop your solar plexus chakra awareness. And there are 1,001 meditations to do so. I definitely am hearing you've got yellow as a prominent fixture in all of these keys. Yellow, 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 yellow. Solar plexus chakra development. Really fine honing your gut feelings is going to be huge for you. Wow. By the way, if you fine tune that, if you really have that solar plexus chakra like as buff as this guy is right here, then that leads to a lot less self-doubt and a lot more just feeling sure about things and your knowing. So it's really beautiful. Right. So you got 2 for 1 here. I can't tell you the number of times I've pulled this key for the signs today. Everyone's getting 5 of Scrolls diversity. So this is an aspect of the collective energy, which says we are being called to investigate new lines of thinking, new ways of learning, new options, new ways, new perspectives, new ways of going about solving problems, really flipping our perspective through incoming information and data, really. So it's interesting in this context with diversity, with the books here as well. I feel like we as a collective are being called to go about things differently in this new age of Aquarius, really open our minds and think about new ways to solve problems or, I don't know, right injustices, right? But we're being called to change things up and go about doing things differently. And so the fact that this is coming up for you with the 4 of Forces, spring and autumn, this is fascinating here. So we're in the northern hemisphere where I am, but if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's flipped, of course. But in this context, spring into autumn, we are looking at July and August here. We are looking at Litha and Elamis. So what's in between spring and autumn? Where we are, right here in the summer, right? So this is interesting. Whenever this has been coming up in this context, I see this as a bridge time, because 4 Forces is like 4 of Wands, right? So it's a bridge. This time in between what has been and what is coming is a bridge. It's a time to prepare. It's a time to get ready. It's a time to consider things before you without necessarily like running about and doing the most. Again, what did we say? Preparedness is caring. That's what this is. And the fact that you've got all these trees, right? With these trees in the background of the beaver, the fact that it's like this, and I feel like this is what it is. I feel like this is your reading. The beaver is here between spring and autumn going, how can we best prepare for the lives that we want? Or what do we want our realities to look like? Because the architect is saying, like, let's be a magician about this. Let's be our own master builders. What do you want your life to look and feel like? Right? It's really beautiful, Leo. You are really coming into a time of strong power. That is for sure. Let's get some advice. Why don't we, though? Preparedness is caring. How funny is that? Oh my God, I almost missed it. The Golden Girls. Golden, yellow. It comes when it comes. And look at all the golds with the architect here. Look at the golds. And the gold. How funny. Anyway, did anyone else catch that and they were just waiting to see if I tied it together? Let's get some advice. Oh my gosh, I just got shivvies. The Fool is your advice. Fresh, brand new starts, new beginnings, leaps of faith, surpassing any fear or any worst case scenario thinking, and literally trotting along ahead into your highest and best reality. Be the fool is your advice. Take risks, be daring, don't be afraid of adventure, and know that you are in for a new cycle. This is the end of a cycle. This is the beginning of another. Get ready for the newness. Get ready for the newness. The architect is saying, okay, if you getting on a plane ready to take a new journey, you have the ability to pre-order your snack selection and your meals for the flight. So it's really, really beautiful. Again, preparedness is caring. I'm so obsessed with this. Let's get an oracle. when your advice is the Fool, it's just really on the nose. You've a few major arcanas here, which means destined and fated events, right? Stop! It's so on the nose. Okay. We got the Phoenix, resurrection, surrender to change. What on earth? Is resurrection not endings and beginnings? Surrender to change? Do we not just say like bridge yourself into the newness? Is this not like golden orange realness? You know, I have to tell you something. This is really speaking to me specifically of autumn. Your birthday season, right, begins late July in through August. August, most places in the Northern Hemisphere, is the hottest time of the year. Hottest month of the year. So, and you as Leos are fire signs, right? Many of whom are born during the month of August and or late July, or late July. So spring and autumn with this orange and this fire, and the fact that the Phoenix is looking at this, and then we have the beaver here, I feel like what's coming for you in the autumn time, this is preparing you for that time. Get ready. I'm telling you, get thee ready. Get thee ready, lions. That's what this feels like. But it's interesting with the surrender to change. You can't be an architect and really build up a new reality if you're clinging on to old ways of thinking or being or doing, right? This is absolutely stunning, Leos. What is coming for you in the autumn time, it feels incredibly special. It feels incredibly special and absolutely life-changing. So I'm hearing I just heard specific for someone. This has something to do with family. For someone, this directly remarking on either a dynamic with a family member or their role within a family or a family of your own. There's something about family where something karmically, some things have ended and something new is coming. It feels positive. Okay. Really beautiful though. Leos, I'm sending you so much love and many blessings for Litha and Elamis season. I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, please do let me know in the comments below. I absolutely love reading your comments. Please like, please share, please subscribe. I would so appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.